Welcoming is a sweet gesture. I request Bhaskar to present the welcome address.
Good evening, everyone. It is my great pleasure to welcome you all to this special workshop. We are honored to have such esteemed guests with us today, and I truly appreciate your presence. First of all, I extend a warm and heartful welcome to our chief guest, Mr. Naveen Freelancer. Your presence today is truly inspiring, and we are grateful for your time and insights. A special welcome to Mr. Udayarasu, founder and CEO of Draupadi IT Solutions. Additionally, I extend my warm welcome to the esteemed Head of Departments, Ms. Roshni, Head of Product Management, Ms. Pooja, Head of Finance Management, Ms. Kamali, Head of Research and Development, Mr. Vasandra Velan, Head of Human Research and Customer Relationship Management, Mr. Silambarasan, Head of Marketing Management. Last but certainly not least, I extend my warmest welcome to all participants. Your willingness and eagerness to learn make this session even more exciting. Let's make this workshop an enriching and productive experience for everyone. Once again, a warm welcome to all. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhaskar. Leadership example. As you are founder of Draupadi IT Solution, Mr. Udayas to present the welcome address.
It's a great pleasure to be here and share the journey and vision of our company with you all. Traubari IT Solution, or simply DIT, was founded with a single goal to deliver smart, affordable, and impactful technology solutions that can make a real difference. We began as a small team, and today we have grown into a young, dynamic company with passionate designers, developers, and thinkers. Our core services include web and app development, IoT and automation systems, UI UX design, billing and ERP solutions, customer software for your real world problems. We are proud to say that one of our key innovations, the automated irrigations based upon drops, was published in IJIT Journal. We are also building a university alumni portal for Anna University graduates to connect, collaborate, and grow together. At DIT, we strongly believe in collaborative effort. That's why we have six strong management departments: CEO, customer relationship management, product management, research and development, finance, and marketing and advertisement management. Each department is led by passionate young professionals who are shaping the foundation of our company. DIT is more than just an IT company, it's a vision driven platform to support innovation, uplift rural digital development, and contribute meaningful to the future. We are here not just to do a business, but to build solutions that matter. Thank you all for this opportunity. We look forward to collaborating, learning, and growing together. Let's build the future with the Draupadi IT Solutions. Thank you.
See. Now, Krishnika to welcome the chief guest.
Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to today's session. And I'm especially excited to introduce our chief guest, Mr. Naveen, freelancer. He is a passionate and a dedicated tech enthusiast who has successfully completed courses in Python, networking, and web designing with a strong foundation in these areas. He has been working as a full stack developer, delivering end to end solutions for various clients and gaining hands on experiences across multiple projects. One of the highlights of his journey is his internship at DRDO, the Defense Research and Development Organization. His work involved developing basic models of radar warning receivers, ground based radars, and airborne radars using the Python. This not only demonstrates his technical expertise but also his ability to work on high impact projects in critical domains. Adding to his achievements, Mr. Naveen has developed a machine learning model for image fusion of MRI and CT scans, specifically designed to support brain tumor analysis and innovative and successfully impactful project that combines the technology and the healthcare. Apart from his academic and the professional work, Mr. Naveen has also contributed to a startup called Digital Lounge, where he played a key role in developing and supporting various projects, showing his collaborative spirit. We are truly honored to have such a talented with us today. Now I warmly welcome Mr. Naveen to take over this session. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, is this audible?
Yes, Naveen, you
So,
can start.
okay. Thank you. So, a warm evening, good evening to everyone who are attending today's session. Um, so, let us start with the presentation. Yeah, today's topic is Python programming with a real-time project using Flask framework. Okay, now let me share my screen. Just say if it is visible or not. Yeah, can anyone say is my screen visible? Okay, fine. Okay, as I said, today's topic is Python programming with a real-time project. We are going to create using the Flask framework. Okay, now everyone might know about what is Python programming. Mm, so let's go with the agenda of this session. First, I'll give some basic introduction. What is Python? When what is used? Introduced Python, and what are the applications of Python? And later we'll move on to the Python basics like using the variables and programming with Pythons, and later important topic called decorators. I just added this decorator topic because we are using the Flask framework in a final project. This is more useful in many application side development, but in general object oriented programming we might uh, rarely use it, but most of it decorators are used in application level building, and we'll go through some basic object oriented programming and then get into a web development and usage of Python in web development. Okay, now what is Python? No, Python is a interpreted language. It is simple and readable. It has a easy scalable graph for the beginners to learn Python. So it's most popular and widely used by the professionals. And moreover, Python programming language is taking all the application level building and all the sectors in IT industries. So it will be very helpful if someone is trying to learn any programming language, and it's also versatile. You can use it anywhere in any application. Mm, and it was first released in 1991. So these are the basic history of Python stuffs, and let's go into the technical analogy of this sessions. Now, why do we need Python? As I said, I'll demonstrate what are the applications used with the Python. First, Python is as have a great community. So
It's used in all the applications in any sort of mm, technical domains like research, web designing, machine learning, data analytics, and lot of stuffs like that. And as I said, it has a easy learn graph, so it is recommended that everyone learn Python nowadays, as AI is also developed using Python, and machine learning code more often used Python. And it has a huge community. You can get help from anyone, anywhere, and lot of packages, libraries are there, so we can use the already built-in code to our projects. It's also reliable, so that now variables and data types. Mm, in Python, we have many built-in variables and data types, um, and we have the numeric, boolean, sequence, and dictionary. We have classified the data types in Python into these four categories. Let me hello. Can I continue? Okay, fine. As I said, the data type in Python is first classified into these four types, and in which the numeric data types has integer, float, and complex number. Mm, since it's a quick session, we'll just focus on the important things. It'll This session will help you learn the basics of Python and a quick implementation of the basics in a project like web development project. We'll use it in backend. So mm, let us use the IDE, and let me explain. Okay, so this is a Python idle shell in which we'll do some basic Python stuffs, and we'll have some basic operations using Python, and later we'll move on to the Visual Code Studio, so that we'll develop a project. Now, as I said, we have different data types in the Python. First, we'll go with number, integer. Okay, we have a integer data type with which we can define by just typing in some numbers like 12, 13, 14. All these are integers, and we do not need to have some quotations or string marks in it. Just just type, and we can also define the type of the variable. Just say a, because we have given the value 3 to the a variable, so we'll just know the type of this a, and it has given that this type is an integer type. Okay, similarly we can do it for float also, and similar for the complex integer. So like this we'll go with the sequence. In here we have the string, list, and tuple. um, there's an important concept called mutability in the sequence. String is mutable, list is mutable, whereas tuple is immutable, which means we cannot change the data type or the variable we have declared in the code. So we'll also demonstrate the type. Here we'll go say Naveen. So this quotation mark represent that the data is string. Any data that we provide within the quotation will say it as a string, and here you go, we'll get this. And also there's an important note that any number that is within the quotation mark will also be as a string. not a integer. So with the same thing, we'll have the list. List is a data type that holds a, number of data within it. It can be any kind of data such as integer, float, or string. We can hold any combination of these data in the list. So let's store 3, 5, and we get the list data type. So these are the basic steps of Python data types and its variables. So as I said, uh, variable is uh, is just like a box which can hold a data within it. Here's an example I have already written. A is a variable which is holding the data 3, and data 3 is a integer data type. This is the basic concept of the variables and data types in Python. And now let us move on with the basic Python programming. Now, is anyone having any doubts on the data types in Python? Or let me clarify all these doubts in the end of the session. I think I'll do it in end of the session. Now let me complete the topic, and when we further move on, if anyone has any doubts, do let me know. Now, the basics of Python programming. Hmm, Inside this topic, we have many subtopics, such as we'll have the operators. There are many operators in Python, such as equal to operator, which is denoted by double equal to. We have a greater than equal to or greater than operator. Then we have a lesser than equal to or lesser than operator, followed by not equal to. And we have some default functions called a print input. Those are the default functions we can use. And what we have used in the ideal, that is the type function, which is used to mm, return the data type of the input data. Is also an inbuilt function. So later we'll get into a function topic, but just reminder, Python has built-in data types as well built-in functions. Some built-in functions are print, type, and input. As you said, like print function will return the statement within the print function, like hello world, as well as the input session will is used to get any input what we want to give in the console. So assigning a variable a value. As I said, variable is a box. Let's assume it is a container. We can assign any value or any data to the variable, so it can be used in later part of the code. It's more flexible and uh, reliable, so we can update or delete the part of the variable at any point of time. We also have the concept of, one second, let me, as I said, I think it will not be visible now. Yeah, let us declare a variable. Let's say a name is a variable. So we are going to collaborate all the things we have learned till now. So name is a variable and we are assigning it data. So let's have a input function. So we are giving an input function, and so yeah, fine. Yeah, this is name is a variable, input is a inbuilt function. So this part of code will provide us with the input data. So let's say Navi. Yeah. Oh, oops. I forgot to print the variable. So we are printing the variable we have given. So now, so we have got a data. So I think there are many methods and operation that we can do with the basic Python programming, and let's speed up the session just by saying we have a concatenation, indexing, and slicing, the basic and important things to know in the basics of Python programming. Uh, so what is concatenation? Concatenation is simply but adding two variables or any integer that can be joined together. For example, let's say print. So we'll have hello and we'll concatenate the name. Yeah. So this plus sign is used to concatenate the hello string with the input variable we are giving now. So now we'll have indexing. This is also important operation in basic Python programming. So indexing is just accessing the variable or the data at a particular uh, position of the data. So let's say the name variable. Uh, let's print the first letter of the name variable. So let's have 0. So always indexing starts from 0, which will return the starting element of the name variable. And another thing I said is slicing. Slicing is something that is related to indexing but different. I think, yeah, Ashwin, is there any question? Okay, fine. Slicing is something similar of indexing, which will return a part of the indexed value. So let's index. Let's index the name variable from the starting to, let's say, the second position. Reminder: the slicing, the end of the position will not be included. Instead, the data before the endpoint will be returned. So let's see in practical. Let's say Naveen Kumar. So this one is the print statement. that we have inputted. Yeah, print name Naveen, and we have concatenation hello Naveen Kumar, and the indexing is given from 0, first letter of the name variable, that is n. And where have the slicing gone? Thing. Yeah, we have got like the starting index is 0, and at the end we have this is 0, 1, and this is the second index. As I said, the second index won't be added. Instead, the index before the end point will be added, so it's from 0 to 1. The end will not be added. Now moving on further. Hmm. Conditional statements. Yeah, conditional statements in Python are used to define certain checkpoints or execute a certain piece of code if it is necessary and under a predetermined condition. So let's say if we have a statement that has to be run, if the input is, just assume, let's have if the input is 1, we have to get the code running for a certain piece, and if the input is 2, we have to get the code running for a certain piece of code. So like this, the conditional statements are used. There are if statement, if else, and if else elif statements. You can use either of these, and in based on the requirement, like let's say let's have a simple input statement. I think we don't need these. Yeah, okay, fine.
Naveen,
Hello. Yes.
Naveen, sorry for interference. Somebody raised their hand. Anushya, do you have any doubts? If you have doubts, means kindly switch on your mic and you can ask, or else it will be cleared on last session. Okay, Naveen, you can go.
Okay, fine. Just make a note of all the doubts you have, and let's clear all the doubts in the end of the session, maybe. Okay. Now, what have we done? Yeah. Let's implement some basic if else statement. So let's have if name, the variable name is equal to the string Naveen. Let's print the statement hello name. So it's gonna generally be Naveen again, but that's fine. Else we'll print some other statement like hello unknown. Yeah. We got the output hello Naveen. This hello Naveen is the print statement we have typed here, but the second one is the if else block we have given. So another point to remember is Python is a case sensitive language, which means if we have a capital N over here, it won't be equal because Python is case sensitive. It have given hello unknown, which means the name we have given in the to the user is not equal to the comparison we have done here. Look, the n is capital. This is known as case sensitive. So Python is case sensitive. There are many basic interview questions asked in many companies. What languages are case sensitive? And yeah, you can also use elif statement. You can use as much as elif statement you need in your code. Um, like if the name is equal to, let's say, John, then let's print oops, John. And I think we'll add some concepts we have learned before, and let's add some sliced element of the name variable. So let's say name, and we'll do a reverse indexing, which means we'll go from the end to the last third before. Yeah, this is fine. Mm, Now if we run this, so the name is Naveen. Oh, oops. Okay. Okay. Remove this input statement. I think I have some logical mistake over here. Yeah, we have compared the name with John, and also we have indexed the name with John. So let's go with input, and we'll assign another variable, say name 2. Then assign it a variable Naveen. So I think Naveen is a string. So let's assign this. Now if we print, we can get the output like say JHN, which will compare the input value to the elif statement we have given here. Yeah, elif if name is equals to John, we'll concatenate John with the name variable. So yeah, we got hello John, in which name 2. Oops. Now it will be fine. Some error occurred. I don't know. Maybe it's probably in the indexing or the name variable. What have gone? Okay, I think we'll sort this later and move on with the session concepts. Yeah, that's it for the if else statement. We have it's a simple conditional coding which is used to uh, execute a piece of code if we need to if we have a condition particular condition and we don't have a particular piece of code to run at that particular condition. So after this we'll go on to loopings. Looping uh, looping is a concept where we used to run a piece of code repeatedly for a particular number of time. So there are two looping statements, that is a for loop and while loop. Mostly there are no particular reasons that for loop or while loop is used more often. It's just based on the application we use and the specification we use for. So it's not definite that we use for loop or while loop. Here we have given the basic piece of code for, let's say, um, I is a variable, and these in and ranges are special built-in functions in the Python. So let's say, yeah, yeah, let's say for for is a looping statement. I is a variable. So in is a built-in method used for looping, and let's say range. Range, as I already said, there are many built-in functions in Python, and range is one among them. So range is used to define a set of, I mean, a sequence of number which has three parameters inside it. First one is the start, second is the end, and the next one is the step parameter. So we have these three things, and the step is optional, but step and end is optional. We can define the start and variable. So let's say from 0 to 5. Let's say from 0 to 5, we need this range of numbers. So let's print these set of variables which will be stored inside the variable I. Yeah, let's run this. Mm, yeah, we got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, all these are the similar thing works with the while loop. So look what we have done here. We have given a count variable 0, and within that we have used the count is lesser than 5. We'll print the count and increment the count within it. These are basic logical statements used within the Python program. So let's have a variable. We'll assign a different variable. Let's say flag. We'll have flag is 0 by flag lesser than 5. Let's print flag, and we should increment the flag so that we meet equals to flag plus 1. So in while loop we have special considerations because we have to give a break statement for the while loop, else it will be keep on running. So here the break statement is flag is equals to flag plus 1, which will increment the flag value one by one until we get the flag value 5. The while loop will be keep on running. So let's run this, save and run. and the same operates here: 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is basic of the while loop and for loop. Now the interesting part is functions. In Python, function is a block of code or a piece of code that is used um, that can be used anywhere, and that is used to do a particular task. It can be used to create modules. It is generally Python or any other programming. Functions are the basic in programming, and all the code are used or written in the functions because it can be modulated, and we can use it anywhere and at any time by just calling the function. So let me explain it deeply. um, just before, we have to know what and why we use functions, because it is already, I said, it is reusable, modularity, to avoid repetition. As I said, we have used the repetitive code above. We can avoid these repetitions, and it is easy to debug and testing, and it's scalable, and it can be read by anyone, so everyone can easily access the function, and it can be used in a various categories of the projects or the code. So with the basics, we have the basic function. So let me teach you how to create a function in Python. We use a keyword called def, which means define. We are defining a function with a function name. So function name. So in general, we can give any function name. So let's just say greet. Greet is a function name. To declare this as a function name, we have to give this function name with the brackets, curly bracket. I mean the round brackets. So this function name is greet, which will be defined by a keyword called def, and after this, we have a small indentation after in which we'll write the piece of code. So let's greet. Let's have a simple greet function. Welcome. Yeah, done. This is a basic function, and this method is known as function calling. So let's print, or just let's just call the function. Say greet, and we'll do this. Yeah, this is called function calling. We are calling the function so that this function is being executed. We need not write a print statement and say welcome again. Instead, we can use this function and use this function greet at any point of the code we need. So let's run this, and let's see. Yeah, we got the output. Yeah, we have got the welcome greet. So after this, we have the function with the parameter, a default parameter, and I mean, okay, fine. Now what is a parameter? mm, Parameter are variables that can be used inside a function. So um, these variables are declared inside the brackets of the declaration of the function. So let's just say name. Yeah, uh, before we have created the variable and assigned it a default value, say just Naveen. This variable has a default value of Naveen, so this variable can be used within the function by just calling the name. Yeah, look, we have declared a variable inside the function and used it in the function. So this is also concept in function. We can greet now. Welcome, Nami. And we can also moderate the variable name inside the function. Just say we need not declare the default name here. We can just give any variable name here, like let's define John here or anything else. So these are different things. The most important thing is return now. Many may get confused about what is return and what is print. Yeah, I'll just show you by the example what is the difference between return and print. Now I have used the function with a return value, not the print statement. If I use the print statement, it's going to give a default value, let's say. So I've just commented this print statement. This won't be executed. The actual function is just these two lines. We have declared a greet function, and now we have given a return statement instead of print. So let's see what is happening. As you see, we have got nothing. We just have got nothing. We didn't get any output. Actually, we should get the name as a name, but we have got nothing. So what is a return? What is return and what is print? We say return is a variable. I mean, return will give the function a value, but print is just uh, printing the variable inside the function. So if you want to use the print statement, we do not. I mean, if we want to use the return statement, we should not just call the function, but we have to print the function. Say, yeah. So if we print the greet function, we may get the return value. Yeah, look, we are getting. But instead, if we don't use the print function to in the while calling the function, we won't get any values because we are using a return. So this is a basic difference. I think you guys will get familiar as we go on because this concept won't be understanding since we use it practically. Mm, mm. So yeah, look here. We are using the print statement and we are not calling the function by print statement. But now we'll get the name value. Yeah, look, we are getting the name value. But when we use the return, we won't get any output value unless we print the function calling itself. Yeah. These are the basics of function. Hope you don't have any doubts in functions because this is a basic in creating the Flask applications in backend development, and it is also a basic in the upcoming object-oriented programming concept. And if you have any doubt in functions, you may ask, or let me go in the flow. I think no one have any doubts. Yeah, let me go on. The next concept is decorator. Yeah, as I said, decorator is also a function. Um, Decorator function is a concept where we use another function within a decorator function. Look here, we have used the decorator function, but within the decorator function, we have declared another wrapper function. This decorator function can be used to define this wrapper function. Yeah, Rishi Akash, you have raised the hand. Okay, fine. Okay, now the decorator is declared using a at symbol before, and will use the decorator name after it. I'll explain you it clearly when we use the Flask module. Just remind uh, this that a decorator function will have another function within it, so we can use the wrapper function using the decorator function. This concept will be familiar if you go through the Flask applications. And yeah, once all these basic Python programming operators functions are good, we can go with the object oriented programming. So what is object oriented programming? Object oriented programming in Python is a concept in where we'll have classes, objects, uh, which can be used to interact with the real time. Any application or any sector or any program you get, object oriented programming is the final concept where you get to touch with the real world application. So let's take a non-tech analogy. So let's assume that you have a mission that produces cars. This machine is known as the class. So in object-oriented programming, we have a term called class, which is identical to a machine. A machine, let's assume this machine has a ability to produce many cars. This machine is produces some sports cars, some luxury cars. So this machine is capable of producing any kind of cars. So each car that is produced from that machine is known as an object. So any car that is produced from this machine, so any car that is produced from this class. Now the technical analogy, that class produces many objects. Yeah. So we can modify the objects functionalities, methods, value, and any such data within it using the methods within it. So we'll have that. Let's take the car example. So the car that we produce, we can change the color of the car. Let's say we can change the model, the speed, using the methods that we have within the class. That is the just like switches or operators that we have in the machine. These are called object oriented programming basic terminologies. Just remember that we have a class, we have objects and methods. So yeah, look here. As I said, a class is a machine that produces multiple objects, n number of objects. We can create any objects using that class. So what is an object? As I said, object is a car that. So here we have taken a windmill. Object is a windmill. So we can produce any type of windmill, n number of windmill using the windmill class. So in that object, in that windmill, we have two classification. One is attributes and the another thing is method. Attributes are the data of that object, whereas the methods are the functionality of that object. Yeah, as you see here, the data, I mean the attributes of the object will have some data like what color is the windmill, what is the speed of the windmill, what is the height of the windmill, like that. But whether methods which will define the functionality of the windmill. So let's say the windmill has to be um, rotating in a clockwise direction or an anti-clockwise direction, or let's say we have to boost the speed of the windmill or slow down the speed of the windmill or regulate the power of the windmill. These are the functionalities. So the functionalities are defined as methods and the data of the object are defined as attributes in the object that is produced from the class. So yeah, here's a simple example. I think we'll get into this. So we'll be easy to understand. Yeah. Yeah. Now, um, a class can be defined. Oh, just let's see. Object oriented programming. Yeah. A class is defined using a keyword called class. Okay. Followed by the class name. In general, the class name will start with a capital letter. Already, we have seen some classes, built-in classes that are the basic data types. Uh, have you remember this? In the beginning, we have given the type. So let's say integer. Integer is a data type that is a class inside the Python. Yeah, look here. Integer is a data type that is a class inside the Python. So all these data types and functions are simple modulos and classes that are built in within the Python. So followed by the class name. So we'll have a class name called fruit id, yeah, followed by a colon. Now def. What is def? We have already known that def is used to create a function in Python and followed by the function name. But instead, we use a special method called dunder methods. Dunder methods in Python are represented using double underscore before and after the type of the dunder method. So let's say we have a initializer dunder method. So we have underscore underscore init underscore underscore. This means we are initializing the function. I mean initializing the class. This dunder method is used to initialize the class. So in default, Python creates many dunder methods such as, so let's say pass this. Okay. Mm, Python, whenever Python code is run, it defaultly generates many dunder methods like underscore underscore name, underscore underscore main. These dunder methods will define the file name which will be used to run in the backend. Okay, so these dunder methods can be used in upcoming projects. So just remind that init is a dunder method. We have uh, rep rep, yeah, which is a dunder method which is used to represent the data. Okay, so this is a dunder method. So let's just initialize this um, function. So what have we done here? I created a fruit that is apple, and we have a color of the apple. Here it's red. So let's create this self dot for you it apple self dot color equal to red. Yeah, fine. So what is this self? Self. Yeah, let's get into that non-tech analogy of creating some cars in that machine. So, a machine may create multiple cars, but at that particular instant, that machine has to create only one car. So this self keyword is used to define that particular object which is created at that instance. So if we can, as I said, we can create any number of objects in a class, but this self keyword is used to access the object that is created at that instance of time. So whenever we use any function or any method inside a class, we have to declare the self keyword as default in all the functions and methods. So we have declared the self here, and we have used the self keyword here, which will just, this is just a variable, and we have just used a self keyword here in front of it to make it as a instance, that instance. So we can create any instance of fruit, I mean any number of apples, using this fruit class. So this, yeah, now we have created a fruit class. This is a fruit class. Now it's time to create objects, that is create some fruit, say, yeah, let's f1. F1 is fruit 1. We are creating this fruit, and inside fruit, this initializer method, since we have used this initializer method, we have to give this parameter inside. But in general, we have declared the variables here, so we need not give it uh, externally. But in some cases, we need not compulsory declare a default value, but you can use any variables, so we can use it later. But we have just created a fruit, and let's print this fruit variable. That is, we are not printing a fruit, but instead we are printing the f1 object. What are we printing? F1 objects, let's say color. Yeah, note this color is an attribute. As I said, this color is an attribute. Look, attributes are the data that are used inside an object. Attribute is a color. We did not come to the methods, that is the functionality of the object. We yet did not come to it, but I'm just explaining the data and attributes of the class. So this color is an attribute. So if we print the color, we have to get the color of the f1, that is the fruit one. So let's run it. Yeah, we got it, red. Similarly, we can print the name, that is fruit. Yeah, what have we given here? Yeah, given, yeah, here we have declared it as name, and apple. We here we are calling, here we're calling the color same. So now let's get into the this. Here we have just given a default name, so let's change it to a name, and we'll give here a color. So yeah, now we are, as I said, we have learned about the parameters that we can use inside a function. So we are giving a name parameter and a color parameter. So these name and color are not just parameters, but these are variables that can be used with this function, that is this initialization function. So now, instead of declaring the default values here, we can just call inside this function, I mean inside this class. So fruit class, we are the first object we are creating is an apple, that is, let's say, a red apple. So let us create another object that is with the same class. Now we are creating a orange. Yeah, look, now we have created two fruits by just creating one simple class. That is one class. We can create any number of fruits we want. This is a small example of objects. So if we want to print the color of the fruit one, we can print it. Else, if we want to print the color of the fruit two or the name of the fruit two, we can print it to. Oh, what's wrong? Something is wrong. Yeah, we got, yeah, red. And similarly we can also get the let's say name, that is what fruit is f2. Let's get it. For UIT have I declared it like that? Yeah, this is the same name that we have declared here. So fruit is the same name we have declared here. So if we run it, now we'll get the color of the first fruit and the name of the second fruit. Yeah, we have got it. Look. So this is the basics. As I said, these are parameters, that are the data, that are the attributes. Now we'll get into functionalities. Yeah. Uh, Functionalities in object oriented programming, any function that is defined inside a class is known as a method. As I said, method is used to describe the functionality of the class. Now we have declared this function, declare this initializer method actually. um, Now let's create a method that is used to define. Okay. Define the print statement. So let's say show the fruit, show the FRT in short form, show the fruit, and will print uh, the fruits color as well as the fruit's name as well as the color. Okay, now, yeah, okay. As of now, since we are showing the fruit, that is, we are creating a show fruit method inside the class. We need not write this print uh, dot fruit dot or f1 dot color. We need not print, but instead we can just call it like just print f1, print f2, simple, by just calling the function, I mean the method we are using, that is show the fruit. Yeah, that's it, followed by the method. Yeah. But we are getting an error because, as I said, we have to declare the self keyword inside every method that we are using inside the class. So let's say self dot color. So which means initializing, we are initializing a fruit, that is we are getting a name of the fruit and color of the fruit, and within the show the fruit method, we are just returning, I mean printing the fruit name as well as the fruit color. So let's say, yeah, this is color is okay. um so before we have manually, uh, if we manually wanted to know the fruit color or the fruit name, we have to separately call the first fruit's color and first fruit's name. So now if we just access this show the fruit method, we can defaultly return the color and fruit name. So let's run this. color is red, and we have got a none. What is the error we are going through? mm, self dot color, yeah, it's the same. What's wrong here? Oops, color is red. Color is red. Yeah, we have got it correct. This is an apple and the color is red for the first fruit. Similarly, we can do it for the second fruit. So let's just say, mm, let's comment this out, and let's print this for the second fruit we are doing. So fruit 2. Fruit 2 is an object that we have created. So let's use the method that we have created. Show the fruit. Yeah, with the brackets. If we run this now, this is orange. The color is orange. Yeah, we have got it. Now, these are the basic fundamentals in object oriented programming. Just a rewind. Uh, a class has a class is just a machine that can create a number of objects, and an object has attributes and methods. Attributes are the data of the object, and the methods are the functionality of that object. Um we can access the functionality by using the methods within the class that we have created, and we can always at any time change the default data of the class by just calling the data. And important, we have to use a self keyword that is used to indicate the instance of that object within the class. So these are the basic stuff that are used in object oriented programming. Mm, I think the time is running up. So here, look, just a quick example. We have created a class fruit. The name is name, color is color. We have used the self parameter, and created apple. Apple is the object name, and if we call apple.details, the details are is a method that we have created inside the fruit class. This will print the apple name and the apple color. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so methods is a functions in the inside the class. Attributes are the variables with the self parameter. I mean the self keyword that is in the prefix, and object is the variables assigned to the class. That is advanced version of the basic programming stuff we have seen before. So let's get into the applications of the Python. Now, Python is, as I said, it's widely used in all sectors like web development, machine learning, data analysis, um, deep learning, artificial intelligence. So, one basic concept is web development. Many have might know that JavaScript have used in many of the web development framework, but we also have a choice of using Python in the backend. We have many libraries and packages within the Python that can be used in the backend development for web development. Some are the Flask and Django frameworks. So we can use what are frameworks, as I said. These are just codes. Flask is a code that is already written by other uh, developers that we are going to import it and use it now. So it can be used efficiently. We need not write the code from the scratch. So we can just use the methods and the functionality they have given within the Flask and create a web backend develop server. So there are very uh, powerful tools and concepts that can be used in Python. So just to get into the Flask, we have to know what is a web, what is internet, how does it work. So how does a uh, internet work or a web page work? Um, So this is how it works. As a user, we all browse in Chrome, Firefox, or DuckDuckGo. Any browser we take, we browse it using a keyword, which is a URL. So this URL is getting into a internet, and the internet is connected to a web server. In our case, we are using a local host. In general, localhost is a is this system. I mean, we are using this system as a local host, but in practical application we have a web servers which will be running 24 by 7. We can be used to access any website documents and files, so we can get our required response from the server. So there are various protocols in the website, in networking. Special protocols is simple, that is, um, a protocols is just some instructions that the server and the client can understand. So these protocols can be accessed using special response codes and request codes by the web server and the clients. Um, so this is a basic functionality of a web, that is, will access the web using a request from the client, and this request will be uh, uh, given to the server, whereas the server will access in the database and give the required response to the client via the database and through the internet. Okay, this is the process. Now we are getting into the Flask. Flask is a framework in Python that we are going to use now. This is a framework that is used to create backend development for web development. Um, Flask has a great documentation to read. Maybe you can go through it. Um, it may just take few hours to complete this documentation fully to develop a basic project for you guys. Um, so this is used to handle the request. I said the request response between the client and the server. Display the HTML pages, connecting the database, or use the input data forms. Used to create login pages, sign in pages. Use in advance. We can use the authentication. We can use payment gateway integration using Flask. There are enormous amount of modules and small libraries that we can use and integrate to our projects using Flask. So as of now, the basics of Python programming is completed. Now let's get into the small project using Flask. This will just create a uh, project that displays, that can be accessed using different URL. Other than just linking multiple pages, will use a proper protocol stack and will redirect to each pages, and will create a simple redirecting page, like a e-commerce or e-learning directory web page. Yeah, e-learning directory web page will be fine. So the task is to create a e-learning web page. So we are going to use all the stuffs that we have learned now to create this e-learning directory web page. Apart from it, you guys might get into some few HTML concepts, and those are simple concepts. Okay, now fine. uh, as of now, is there any doubt, or let me complete the project and have some Q&A sessions. Okay, let's create the simple project and we can have the Q&A session probably. So yeah, fine. Uh, Vigi. Vigi, do you have any doubt or maybe that's an error? Okay, let's get into it. So, as I said, we are creating now. Just let's just define the agenda of the project. Now, we are going to use Flask to redirect direct to the e-learning directories. So this is step one. We'll use we will will use Flask mm, and proper protocols other than not just linking the pages, but we'll use the redirecting protocols properly and we'll just create a simple e-learning directory web page for now, and let's run it in the page. Okay, as you can see now, I have created a Flask project folder, and within it I have created a templates folder, uh, and within the templates folder I have created our index html page. Yeah, now just a reminder, in Flask we have to create a templates folder to store our static files. I mean, the HTML files or JavaScript files, and we have to create a static folder to store our styling sheets. These are mandatory because Flask is a framework that is created by someone else. So we have to obey, I mean, use the rules that they have defined to utilize the functions and method that Flask provide. So let's get into the documentation maybe and see what is Flask. Yeah, is it visible? Yeah, I think so. Look, uh, Flask has a great documentation to learn. It's just a module that we can learn and learn and develop many projects using Flask. It's easy to learn. They have given all the instruction how to use it, what are the methods available within the Flask. So create a simple Flask application. Um, it looks like this. Yeah. So let's just copy this code and run it within a yeah. Oh, Yeah. Uh, Now let me explain this piece of code. Here, this Flask is the module name, and the Flask that starts with the capital F defines the class that the developer have created within the Flask framework. As I said, we should create every class name with a capital letter so that it is easy to use. So a simple use is here. The Flask framework has a class within it that is known as Flask. So we are creating a object that is app. App is an object of the Flask class. So we are creating this Flask class. And as I said, there's a dunder method, special method known as name, used to start the app. And now we are using a decorator. Look, as I said, decorator is used to uh, call the wrapper function within it. So we'll have the wrapper function. I'll just recall. Yeah, decorator function which will have a wrapper function within it. We can use the decorator function to call the wrapper function. This is just a simple example of function calling that we have done earlier. Just if you have remembered the greet function that we have made, it's just a simple method that we have used. So just remember this is a function calling method. So to use a decorator, we should use the at variable. This is just a syntax, and we have used the app, that is the object name, and dot, and then followed by the method which is created inside the class. Yeah. Now route is a method. Route method is used to define the route of the directory, web page directory we are giving in. So this directory is a default module. So after declaring this decorator, we can write a function. As I said, Python is an interpreted language. This code will be running a line by line, and the decorator function will define this below function. So there is no worries of running. I mean, getting an error of running this code first. So this decorator will define this below function. So in the below function, we have just created a we are just returning a hello world. So another thing to remember is we have to call this hello world function. I mean, run this Flask application. As I said, Flask is a backend used in backend development. We are creating a server application. So server application need to be running in a production side. Instead of production side, we are running it in a local host. So we may get some. Okay, yeah, expected. um we are getting nothing. I mean, no output is given. Where is the written statement? There's nothing. But instead, we have to get a web page that is showing a hello world. How can we do it? By just looking into the directory, we may know it. What have they done here? Yeah, look here. They have given to run the application, use the Flask command, Python mflask. You need to tell the Flask where the application is running. Yeah, they have given this command line, so we should run this. Or else we have a method called if name equal to main, that is using the dunder method we have already learnt. So let's use the dunder method, or either you can use the documentation method. So let's say if the name equals to main. Okay. So what does this mean? The name is a special dunder method. As I already said, every Python code while executed will create a default dunder method, that is name, that is used to indicate the execution of the program. So here we are using this default dunder method to indicate that the main function is running, which will create the app instance, that is app.run. Here run is also a method inside the Flask class. Look, app is an object, we are calling the method inside the app. So this will run the Python code now properly. Yeah, now we have created a basic Python app server. Now as you can see, yeah, we have got a warning server. Yeah, we have created a server using Python that is running in the main function. So the debugging mode is off, and we are getting a warning. This is a development server. Do not use in production and development deployment. Use production VSGI. Um, Website gateway integration is the abbreviation of VSGI, which is used to run this server in a local host. That may most probably this won't be a major task if we run. And yeah, now the host is run, I mean our page is running in the local host. This is the link of the local host. Now if we copy this link and paste it in the web page, we are ready to go. Yeah, now the server is running and we are getting a hello world. Yeah, is it visible? Yeah, now it is visible for everyone. um Once the web page is run, we are also getting a updation of what we have done, as because we are creating a server backend. Look, we are using, as I said, we are getting the protocols, that is get method, that is we are getting the required file using the protocol. There are many protocol numbers, that is 200, 404, various thing. One common thing is 404 error not found. You guys might have known. 201 is there. There are various protocols that use in web development and networking. So let's just um, set this debug to true, so that we need not refresh and run the web page again and again. Now instead of creating this one line hello world code, we are now going to return a HTML page using a backend development. So as I said, we are creating a e-learning directory, e-learning directory. So within it, uh, what can we have? So project also there. Hmm. So we have a linking tag, which will link to various courses. For example, let's say first let's give a heading to it. Uh, yeah, something to type in. So now we'll have some content that we can see in a web page, and now we'll get into an actual page. So now we'll have a p tag which says Python code. Mm, Within the p tag, maybe after the p tag, we'll have an anchor tag. For now, let's just have a hash and say to Python. So similarly, we'll create Java for different courses. Oh my, Java and let's say Perl. Yeah. Okay. I mean course. It's actually course COURC. Yeah. Fine. Okay. Done. I've changed it correctly. Now we should get a Python. I mean a web page that is directing to that may have some H1 and P1 tags. So let's just get into it. Just a second. Yeah. Fine. Now if we save it and r- now first let's just run this HTML code separately, and then let's connect this HTML code to our backend. Yeah, now it's fine. We have a heading of forum that have a simple content. We have a Python course and the link for it, a JavaScript course, a link for it, and a Perl course and a link for it. Hope you guys can see it now. Yeah, these are links, redirecting links. As you can see here, if I hover through this link, there's a directory at the bottom left saying 127.0.0.1 templates.html, which is redirecting to a page. Now, instead of this, we are going to use the protocol stacks that is given by the Flask and render it into a HTML page. So to use it, we are not just going to use the. I think someone is having some doubt. Who is it? Kindly. Okay, fine.
Guys, if you have any doubts, kindly ask them and ask to fill the feedback form. Once you fill the feedback form, then you will generate your certificate.
Okay, let's continue. Uh, to render this HTML page to our backend server, we are going to have a render template module and a URL for temp module. So all these are classes that are created inside the Flask application. So, I mean the Flask framework. So instead of returning a page, we are going to render template. Mm, yeah, fine. Oops. Render template. We are going to render it within the quotes, the location of the index page. So it is inside the templates folder, as I said. Maybe it's not. Yeah, index.html. The Flask will defaultly read the templates folder and check for the index page. So let's just define the file name. Yeah. Now I think the process will be running good. Let's just close the page and run it. Instead of running through the HTML page, now we are going to run through the backend server module. Yeah, we have got the server running at this localhost port 5000. Now if we click on this, We have an error. The view function for hello world did not return. Hmm. The function either returned or none or ended with a fixed. Yeah, we're getting an error. We'll sort this out. Oops. We got a type error. Maybe. Let's check what the error is. Okay. I think, yeah, I forgot to return the render template. Return the render template. So we'll get the HTML page directed. Now, if we click on the local host, yeah, we are getting redirected to the page. And with this, um, now look at the bottom left. We are just getting the file directory instead of getting the whole index.html. We are just redirected to the actual port. We are not getting any file name or any directory paths. This is how the backend works when connected. Now, yeah, let's update few things. Now let's get into the index.html. Maybe we'll create another file for Python course, python.html. Oops, this is outside of the template. Are you sure you want to? Yeah. Now, within this, we are going to create an HTML page again. Let's just say p tag lorem. So, the task for us is to redirect the Python link to the Python HTML page. Instead of directly linking, we are going to use the backend. So here we are using a special Jinja template which is used in Python Flask, and we are using the URL for method to render the Python page. Yeah. Now, uh, if we click on this URL, we are going to redirect it to this page. But just before doing it, we have to create a route for the Python. So let's create a decorator app dot route, and let's define the URL. So for us here, the URL is py course, course, and once this directory is created, we'll just define the method. I mean, for here we are just say py course itself. Py course, and let's just return render template and the HTML page, that is python.html. Now if we run this, and let's check if the redirecting is properly working or not. We're getting an error. Say Python is undefined. So let's check what is the error within it. Oh yeah. Um, Within the index HTML page, we have to URL for the method that we have defined in the main py. That is, we have used the function py course to redirect to the Python HTML page. So we have to put the PyCourse function name within the URL for and save this. So once this page is set up, now if we run this, there might not be any error. Yes. Again an error occurred. PY course, maybe an typo. PORSECOUR. Okay. I think I forgot the quotation inside this. Now if we run the save it and run the main file, that is the backend server, we might get the server running on this page. And function is, yeah, it's running, and we get, yeah, the function is running. And this is exactly same for the other two things, for the JavaScript and the Perl function. So just to show the project, yeah, here we go. um, this is that's just a sample one we have created just to teach you guys. uh, I have created a route, rendered that main index HTML, and created another route, that is PyCourse, which will be redirecting into the another Python HTML page. And inside the HTML, I mean the main HTML page, I've used the Jinja template to use this template to redirect, link the HTML page to the server functionality. This is the basic concept. But whereas a main project will be something like this. So this is the basic login page that the redirecting page I have created. So here I have given a data, simple dictionary data, and use the date and time modules and the Flask URL and render template modules to redirect it to the uh, appropriate user's profile. We have Kavin, Naveen, Mukesh, and Palni, four profiles here, and we'll be directing to the four profiles, and we'll also be updated with the date and time on which they have been using it at the, maybe at the footer. And inside the templates, I have created all these in index HTML pages, and I already said the cascading style sheet. Yeah, the CSS file is within the static folder. Yeah. Hmm. As you can see, I have used the Jinja template to connect the backend. Yeah, I used the Jinja template to connect with the style sheet and the backend for the functionality. So maybe if we run this, you'll get to know about what the actual backend is developing. Yeah, it is run now. Let's see the output. Hmm. Yeah, this is the page. You can share the self introduction. It will be created as a new directory for each person. For now, we have four directories. Direct to anybody's self intro. Now let's redirect it to Naveen. We have got some HTML content for Mukesh. We are directing into Palani, directing into Kavin. The same for it. Uh, this is a basic backend developed using the Python Flask framework. You can also integrate payment integration gateway and also build APIs using this. There are many applications using this. Uh, there's no much time to do these payment gateway integration projects, so I've just given this basic redirecting page. There are login authentication you can add to using these Flask modules. I think you can also add the database to the Flask. There's a SQL Alchemy that is integrated with Flask for easy accessible. You can use this SQL Alchemy. That all these things are listed in the documentation of the Flask. You can anytime visit and just get into it and read a few things and get to know about many things. Uh, with this, I think my session is over. If you guys have any doubt, you can ask. Host of this meeting. Is there? Does the students have any doubts?
Guys, if there are any doubt, kindly raise your hand and ask your question too, sir.
Is anybody having doubt? Means you can unmute yourself and you can ask. Anybody having doubt?
And moving to the next session of our workshop. Now, I would like to call upon Vasanta Velar to facilitate the gathering.
Yes, good evening, everyone. It's both an honor and privilege for my stand before you today as a director and head of customer relationship and human resource management at Paavai Solutions to extend my heartfelt felicitation on behalf of our entire DIT family. Today, Python programming workshop has been more than just an learning session. It has been an inspiring experience filled with insights, collaboration, and positive energy. The curiosity and commitment shown by each participant have truly made this workshop impactful and memorable. I would like to sincerely thank our dedicated organization team, our experienced mentor, and every resource person who contributed their valuable time and knowledge. Your involvement play a key role in this success of this event. As someone deeply involved in the people development and team building, I believe workshops like this help bridge the gap between theory and real world application. They create a space where growth becomes a shared journey. Let's take the learning forward, continue supporting on another, and grow together as one strong, united team at Cloud AI Solutions. Once again, thank you, and congrats to everyone who made this event possible. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I'd like to call upon Anand to share his experience.
Good evening to everyone present here. It's my privilege to extend a heartfelt voter thanks at the conclusion of this insightful workshop. Python programming is a real-time project using a Flask framework. First and foremost, I express my sincere gratitude to our respected chief guest for this taking time to share this knowledge and expertise with us. Your insights into the Python programming have truly deepened our understanding and sparked curiosity among us. A big thank to our CEO, coordinators, and organizers who worked tirelessly behind these scenes to make this workshop successfully. Your supports and guidance were invaluable in shaping today's session. To our participation, your enthusiasm and engagement made this workshop interactive and meaningful. Thank you for your curiosity questions and active participations. Lastly, I thank you our Draupadi IT Solution organization for providing us with this platform to learn, explore, and grow in this field. Once again, my sincere thanks to each and every one of you for making this workshop fruitful and memorable experience. Looking forward to more such learning opportunity together. Once again, thank you.
Thank you, Anand. Participants are requested to fill the feedback form. Once you fill the feedback form, you will generate your certificate. Thank you.
Except DIT members, everyone can leave.